National Electrical Code Section 300.5. J addresses the requirements for expansion fittings. This section mandates that expansion fittings be installed on raceways that are subject to temperature variations that could cause excessive expansion or contraction of the raceway. The primary purpose of expansion fittings is to prevent damage to the raceway itself, as well as to protect the conductors located inside the raceway. Damage could occur due to the forces exerted by thermal expansion and contraction. When a raceway is exposed to the outdoors, it is highly probable that it will experience significant temperature variations throughout the year. These variations can range from very cold temperatures in the winter to very hot temperatures in the summer. Such temperature fluctuations can cause the raceway to expand and contract. Without expansion fittings, this expansion and contraction can create stress on the raceway and its connections, potentially leading to cracks, breaks, or other forms of damage. Similarly, the conductors inside the raceway can also be affected by thermal expansion and contraction. If the raceway is not properly equipped with expansion fittings, the movement of the raceway can place stress on the conductors, potentially causing them to become damaged or disconnected. This can lead to electrical failures and safety hazards. Therefore, it is crucial to install expansion fittings in accordance with National Electrical Code Section 300.5. To ensure the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. Expansion fittings are designed to accommodate the thermal movement of raceways without causing damage. They work by providing a sliding or flexible connection that allows the raceway to expand and contract freely. There are several different types of expansion fittings available, each designed for specific applications and temperature ranges. The selection of the appropriate expansion fitting will depend on the size and type of raceway, the expected temperature variations, and the specific installation conditions. When installing expansion fittings, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The fittings should be properly sized and installed in the correct locations to ensure that they can effectively accommodate the thermal movement of the raceway. It is also important to ensure that the fittings are properly grounded and bonded to maintain the integrity of the electrical system. In addition to National Electrical Code Section 300.5. There may be other applicable codes and standards that govern the installation of expansion fittings. It is important to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable requirements. Firstly, consider the type of raceway. Different materials expand and contract at different rates. For example, PVC conduit has a higher coefficient of thermal expansion than steel conduit. Secondly, determine the temperature range. This is the range of temperatures that the raceway is likely to experience. Thirdly, calculate the expansion. Use the formula to determine how much the raceway will expand or contract. Fourthly, select the appropriate expansion fitting. Choose an expansion fitting that is designed for the type of raceway and the amount of expansion. Fifthly, install the expansion fitting. Follow the manufacturer's instructions to install the expansion fitting correctly. Failing to install expansion fittings where required can lead to several problems. 1. Damage to the raceway system. The expansion and contraction of the raceway can cause it to crack, bend, or break. 2. Damage to the conductors. The movement of the raceway can stress the conductors, causing them to become damaged or disconnected. 3. Electrical failures. Damaged raceways or conductors can lead to electrical failures, power outages, and safety hazards. 4. Code violations. Failure to install expansion fittings where required is a violation of the National Electrical Code. In summary, expansion fittings are an essential component of electrical installations in areas with significant temperature variations. They protect the raceway and conductors from damage caused by thermal expansion and contraction. By following National Electrical Code Section 300.5, and other applicable codes and standards, you can ensure the safe and reliable operation of your electrical systems. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to determine the specific requirements for your installation. They can help you select the appropriate expansion fittings and ensure that they are installed correctly. Understanding the principles of thermal expansion and contraction is crucial for designing and installing electrical systems that will withstand the test of time. By paying attention to detail and following best practices, you can create a safe and reliable electrical system that will provide years of trouble-free service. The National Electrical Code, or National Electrical Code, is a widely adopted code for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. The National Electrical Code is not law, but it is often adopted by state and local governments as part of their built-in codes. This means that compliance with the National Electrical Code is mandatory in many areas. Article 300 of the National Electrical Code covers wiring methods. This article provides requirements for the installation of various types of raceways, cables, and conductors. Section 300.5 specifically addresses underground installations. As we know, subsection J within 300.5 addresses expansion fittings. When installing underground raceways, it is important to consider the effects of soil movement, temperature changes, and other environmental factors. These factors can cause the raceway to expand, contract, or shift, potentially damaging the raceway and the conductors inside. To mitigate these risks, the National Electrical Code requires the use of expansion fittings in certain situations. Expansion fittings are designed to accommodate the movement of raceways without causing stress or damage. They are typically installed at intervals along the raceway run, allowing the raceway to expand and contract freely. The specific requirements for expansion fittings are outlined in National Electrical Code Section 300.5. J. This section specifies when expansion fittings are required, the types of fittings that are permitted, and the installation requirements. It is important to carefully review National Electrical Code Section 300.5. J. to ensure that your installation complies with the code. In addition to National Electrical Code Section 300.5. J. There may be other applicable codes and standards that govern the installation of underground raceways. It is important to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to ensure that your installation complies with all applicable requirements. Proper installation of expansion fittings is essential for ensuring the long-term reliability and safety of underground electrical systems. By following the National Electrical Code and other applicable codes and standards, you can create a robust and durable electrical system that will provide years of trouble-free service. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is best to hire a licensed electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Before beginning any electrical work, be sure to disconnect the power to the circuit you will be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is energized. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Work in a well-lit area and avoid distractions. If you are unsure about any aspect of the electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician.